All right, with a big thank you to Nathaniel's Coffee and Panini and Solely Designs. This is the Crowject coming at you red hot and live for episode 299. Now, we've got a whole bunch of things that we need to discuss tonight. We've got a huge win against Richmond, beating the MCG Hoodoo from many years ago. All sorts of things, including a common assault that happened on the ground there too. Whole bunch of news off field too, including AFL Women's that's coming up very soon. New signees, some people going into the AFL Hall of Fame too. And of course, we need to prep for our next game at Adelaide Oval this Sunday. Now, my name's Peter, and thank you so much for joining us on the pod, and thank you for listening too. So you can head over to crowject.bigcartel.com to get all your Go Crom merch, and also head to patreon.com/crowject to sign up as a Patreon. Now, it's just not me on for tonight. I've also got Lleyton. Hello, Lleyton.
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
After the weekend?
Yeah, had a good weekend, and we've overcome a lot of technical difficulties tonight with our pre-roll too. That includes all sorts of things, including White Girl Magic, Golf Mode, which cartoon member will die, Big Day Out, and hating on Hemsworths too. And a lot of that content came from our next guest, and it's Ray. Hello, Ray. How are you, buddy?
Hello. That was just a brief snippet of what goes through my mind at all times.
Oh, my God. Now, speaking of snippets as well, a lot of the commentators on the weekend kept bringing up the fact that we hadn't won against Richmond at the MCG since, that grand final that shall not be named, even though I just did. But Lleyton, we finally overcame the Hoodoo, didn't we, mate? What was the result in the end?
So we ended up winning 18 goals, 122 to 8 goals, 654 in a dominant display, 68-point shellacking. So before yesterday, we hadn't won since round 19, 2008.
2008?
Hadn't won against Richmond at the MCG.
Shit.
So round 11, 2008.
Have had some pretty good teams that we've played against at the G.
Yeah.
And this one was a bunch of 12-year-olds with an angry old man up one end.
I mean, that's a summary of the day. They had an angry old man who couldn't touch the footy.
I mean, look.
And then we had
if you
Daniel
talk about
Curtin
fair weather fans,
dominating.
we're only getting 23,000 there, and I'd say a fair amount were Crows fans that went over too, which was just great to see. A lot of the sport too, and some of our patrons were over there too, which is great to see. But
one of my favourite parts, and we'll touch on the incident a bit later on, but when Tom Lynch was getting the ball in the second half, you could hear the booing from the Crows fans. That's how you know it's a good turnout for the Crows fans' point of view, and pretty average from Richmond when you can hear the Crows fans boo.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Ray.
Yes.
How about we talk about the biffo that happened on the field with Tom Lynch trying to launch some haymakers at Jordan Burt's.
It just wasn't even like an isolated incident.
Yeah.
He quite clearly tried to rub his boots on Josh Worrell's face.
Oh, that was
on the ground.
Yeah, nice.
It's one of the most dog things I've ever seen a footballer do. And then he's haymaker Butts, who probably had his best game in Crows in the AFL team today.
For a little while, yeah.
Jordan Butts,
he's been in
did
and
a
out
very good job. He's thrown the haymaker at him, and then that wasn't even the one that he got reported for, because he got reported for something that he did to Worrell after the haymaker. So he's a cranky old bastard. He couldn't get a kick, and he's just done that, which was disgraceful. Sent straight to the tribunal, which he should.
Yeah.
And the AFL's got to do something. Those coats at AFL House have got to grow a backbone. They had a guy out there who, if the game started an hour later, couldn't have played because of his assault curfew.
Yeah. What's with Richmond and just cowed punches? What's going on?
To be fair, Noah Bolters wasn't a coward punch. He just bashed a bloke out front of a kebab shop. But,
okay. Oh, that's high class.
Yeah, but
do you reckon it was disagreements over garlic sauce, yes or no, or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. But it was the AFL really have to make a stand. Like, people are getting 3 weeks for a tackle that's just slipped the wrong way.
Yeah.
They're getting 4 weeks for bump. I've just done a thumbs up and it's come up with me. They're getting 4 weeks for a footy action bump that accidentally slips high and concusses a bloke. This was intentional. It was high.
Not in play.
It could have, like, if it didn't get Butts in the back of the head and got him in the jaw, it could have broken his jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the action is way worse than what we saw. The only comparable one I can think of in the last few years is the Brayshaw incident.
Yes.
Which was a sort of a push and shove, which was obviously bad and got him high on the
This
chin.
one had
that
more
concussed
intent to
him.
me.
Yeah, a lot more intent. He wasn't even looking because it was the back of his head. Sort of. It was so shocking to see the action, and it used to be that the tribunal would punish on the action, but now it's just whether you
Outcome-based.
concuss someone or not, or really injure someone or not, which is just the wrong way about. So hopefully they take a stand. I'm hoping like 5+ weeks, but I don't know if we'll see that.
Has to be.
I mean, look, would you think that it's got to do that he just doesn't like Crows or former Crows defenders too? Because in 2023 he did this to Alex Keith as well. And that got sent
I don't know.
directly to the
There's
tribunal.
a pattern of
as well.
behaviour, obviously. He's been reported a few times.
Yeah, Keith got concussed, but the rough conduct charge got dismissed.
But yeah, it has been absolutely baffling to me that everything around this, because it was clearly a punch meant to hit Jordan Butts in the head.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a push gone wrong. It wasn't anything like that. It was like meant to be a punch. And every part of media, football media, has come out and gone, oh, but he was frustrated because he wasn't getting free kicks.
Yeah.
Everything
that's
has
crazy.
been about defending him and him being the victim here. That's bullshit, in my opinion. The AFL have had a shocking year when it comes to protecting players and these sorts of incidences. They've got to grow a backbone, stop being a pack of coats, and do something about it.
Now, speaking of that, I'll read directly because there's a fair amount of victim blaming that's been going on here, and I'll quote directly from what Tom Lynch said to Channel 7 after the game. I was just more frustrated with how he was defending me, I thought. Clearly it, and in parentheses, Butts' actions, was within the rules because there were no free kicks awarded to me and I went outside the rules. I've got to be better. Maybe not beating the shit out of other people.
Yeah. It's just the reaction was so crazy. And it wasn't just that. He was still arguing with the umpire minutes after the incident, you know?
Yep.
And it happened all day. He was so aggressive and out of line. And it was well done. It was pointed out in Nix's presser. It was well done by the Crows team by not retaliating over the top. You know, they sort of defended the player, defended Butts, but then sort of got on with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
It's just crazy to me.
yeah,
But
and
to create a little bit of normality around the situation, Kane Corns has come out today and gone way over the top and said that this should end Tom Lynch's career. So just when I thought I was the crazy one for them trying to like say that he shouldn't get much for this because he was just frustrated and it wasn't really that big a deal, and then old 5 Minute Fiery comes out and says, nah, end his career. What's he doing there? And then normality is resumed.
But it's such a weird way to respond. Like, I mean, look, shout out to Adelaide Crows Pride. They put up a great meme of what's happening with Tom Lynch's heat map. Nothing's working. It's because he had no disposal. His first disposal, I think, was in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But to come out and react like this, and I mean, I think it was even Dermy on the call for Fox was like almost laughing at the situation. I mean, let's call it for what it is. It's not a king hit, it's a coward's punch. I prefer that thing. It's just a stupid way of responding to things. And to turn around and just try to punch someone in the face just because you're frustrated shows a lack of mental fortitude for, you know, he's been playing for a while now, Tom Lynch.
Yeah, he's a senior player.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. Like, doesn't matter what's happened. Like, within reason on the beforehand on the footy field, all of the actions against him was just good defensive play that the umpires weren't paying any free kicks against.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're gonna keep doing it, you know.
Yeah, they were paying free kicks for everything. There was 40 free kicks in that game.
Yeah.
20 apiece. Like, the whistles, the P in the whistle was worn out by the end of it.
Spinning around.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But look, it's great to see that we finally cracked it. We were able to break through. Prune Masters has been collabing with us with a few things. We finally broke the hoodoo. Yes, we beat Essendon earlier this year, but fuck me. I was just glad to get this one out of the way because, I don't know. It's just, I had a feeling of this could all go to shit.
To be fair, if we have a look at the game, though, this had the hallmarks of a great classic Crows bed shit.
What was it at quarter time? We were dominating the play and we scored 2 goals 5.
Correct.
To 1 point.
And you're
So
like, great, we're going to watch 22 Crows players take a shit in the middle of MCG.
Ben Key stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say Ben Keys did it first. But.
And then you look at the maturity of the group because Dawson didn't have his best game. Rankin didn't have his best game. Philfoot ended up with 5, but Fogarty and Tex didn't have their best games. But we were able to get a pretty convincing win with guys standing up like Curtin, like Butts, Philfoot. Max Michelini comes out and bags a 3.
Oh, that was my favourite performance of the day. I loved his game.
We've just got other options to get it done now.
Yeah.
Rather than relying on the same few players.
Isn't that a flex from Nixie to be like, yeah, we've got this really good lockdown defender, but we don't really have to play him in the usual position. We can try him out, do whatever.
I actually thought it was a bit of a masterstroke, really, because it was like Max has been playing on the most dangerous forward, and do Richmond have any at the moment? Probably not. But Vlosten's pretty dangerous at the other end, so go chuck him on him. Vlosten didn't have that much of an impact, and Max hurt him on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, Nixie said in the presser that it was actually Max's idea to do this, to go forward and follow Vlosten, because they must have raised it in the opposition preview. So I like that he had the confidence to put his hand up for that job. And just his set shot goal kick in was deadly accurate, all from like pretty much 40, 50 metres out. You don't see many defenders being that accurate, which is great to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost akin to Ben Rudden with his first game. Sometimes you got to unleash them. But look, I think Max, and I said it as some of the comments on Insta too, he's going to be our future captain. I have no doubt about that. The thing is, he's going to be a future captain. Everything's going to be great. I think he's going to be a fantastic plug and play. He had a period last year, I think it was against Essendon later in the year, where he got pushed up forward too, or sort of the centre forward, and he was brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to see how he goes with that.
Yeah, we love Max.
We love Max.
We love Max. We love what Max brings.
Mm.
We love him to the max.
Now, how about Dan Curtin's breakout game? Signs a contract and he's like, fuck it, let's go.
Oh. Usually you play better when you don't have a contract. Try get that money.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah, but he's like, no, stuff ya.
Yeah, 26 disposals on the wing, 8 marks is really good. 5 tackles, 3 goal assists, and obviously 2 goals straight. But I really liked his defensive efforts. Like in I think it was the 3rd or 4th quarter, he went back with the flight with a great spoil.
Yeah,
and just those 1%ers when he didn't really have to do that, and when we're up by so much. But he seems like that wing position he's making his own.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys agree, but like whenever we're coming out of defence now, and they sort of kick long out of defence, I'm always sort of confident and comfortable because I know Curtin can take like a pretty good overhead mark, and he's quite often matched up on their winger, who he's way bigger than, because
Yeah.
the kid's a monster,
Yeah.
and it just makes you feel confident and calm that we can get out of there.
Well, that's our sort of competitive advantage against most, if not all teams, is our contested marking ability, and because we've got such tall players up forward and someone like Curtin on the wing, we took 12 contested marks on the weekend to Richmond's 3, and that's just really hard to defend. Like, you think about how many players kick it long and high, like Laird and Smith. Well, now we've got players that can actually do something with it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it
I
doesn't
thought,
just turn around and go the other way.
I thought Smith played his best game for a while. He's really taken over that sort of real defensive defender.
Defensive defender, yes.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was good. I think he was really sort of clean when he needed to be. It's just that composure that you can trust when he gets the ball. He knows exactly who to pass it off to. He's rarely caught holding the ball other than that
That
really
shit
bad
one.
decision where he barely had a moment to think.
I know. That sucked, that one.
Yeah.
I thought Rob was pretty good.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
41 hit outs, but it was more where he was putting it.
Yeah, I thought a lot of them were to our advantage. Although I can't remember what. No, it wasn't. We won the the clearances, didn't we?
Oh,
There was one game that
good question.
I watched for. No, we lost the clearances by 7,
Yeah, that is strange.
and they had a big dominance over us in the centre bounce as well, which was weird considering we dominated the ball in our half of the ground.
Yeah, I think that shows, especially this game, our defence was the highlight for me. I know we scored 122 points, but to keep Richmond to 8 goals in what could have just turned into an Essendon-style game in round 2, where
Just a bit of a shootout.
We win by 7 goals, but we didn't really defend. This was definitely a clear improvement from earlier on in the year, where we didn't give up much at all.
Another stat that I'm just looking at here.
Yeah.
48% we had time of possession to their 35, but we also laid more tackles than them in the game. So our pressure was on when it needed to be. Even though we had a majority of the ball, we were still bringing that heat.
Love it. Yeah, you don't see that often at all, where you're getting the ball most of the time, but still out tackling them.
Yeah, we had 90 more disposals than them.
Oh, yeah.
And 6 more tackles.
Were there any other standouts? Obviously, Butts played a great role, which we mentioned. I thought Worrell was one of our best. Just rebounding everything.
Mitch Hinge, after being quiet for a few weeks, had a pretty good game.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he played well. Had 12 marks, which was the most by any Crow. Yeah, all those defenders, Hinge, Worrell, Miller, Laird, all sort of were clean when they needed to be, and really didn't give Richmond a chance.
Isaac Rankin, 20 touches, 1 goal, and 4 tackles is almost like the quietest 20-in-1 game ever.
Yeah.
You just expect so much more from him, but I don't think there was any, everyone did what they needed to do. Dawson got his way to 26.
Dawson, or Saligo, Neil Bullen, they didn't get heaps of the ball, but they did the job. You know, they weren't beaten.
Yeah, I agree.
It was also good to see that Dawson has received Mark of the Year nomination too. I'm not sure if you guys touched on that as well, but
he's just been marking everything lately. I don't know what's been going on, but I love it.
Nixie made an interesting point in an interview that I heard with him a couple of weeks ago before a game or after a game. It was pre or post game.
It was surrounding some sort of game.
He sort of made a comment about how he was trying to coach and how he had to learn to delegate a lot of things, and that he'd seen the same sort of thing with Jordan Dawson.
Oh,
where
yes. I think I
last
saw
year
this.
he had a real, like, if something needs to be done, I will do it.
Yeah.
And I'll put it on me to do it. But this year he's sort of learning to step back and go, okay, I can do this, but if we need to do that, I can maybe help someone else do it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to shoulder all the responsibility himself.
Like really trusting that your teammates are going to play their role to be able to help the team, rather than him be like, okay, I've got to fix this problem or this problem.
I'm going to go down back and take all the contested marks.
Yeah. Whereas now he was resting up forward a bit late in that game where the game was done. He doesn't need to do much else. What were your thoughts on Lockie Murphy being the sub?
I don't know. He's just been killing it in the SANFL.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but then I don't know, I haven't been around. But the amount of just disgusting stuff about Lockie Murphy online is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been over the top, hasn't it?
Like, he's a human. It doesn't matter if you think he should be picked or he shouldn't be picked. Judge his football all you want, fine. But don't make comments about him, because the couple of interactions I've had with him as a person, not as a footballer, have been absolutely stand up, and I couldn't say a nicer word about any dealing that I've had with him. Yeah. So for them to go after his character is just disgusting.
And it's not like he's picking himself. Like, he's not, he doesn't get to decide whether he plays or not.
He was averaging like 25 touches in the SANFL playing in the midfield. Like, it's not like he's averaging 10 touches.
Yeah.
And just plotting. He's putting his name forward. He's working hard. And there's obviously something he's doing that you guys aren't seeing that gets him picked. So leave Lockie Murphy alone. I love him. We hope he's okay, because I did hear someone asked him, I've heard, I can't remember who it was, but they were like, yeah, I've asked him about it, and he really hates it because he's just trying his best to...
Yeah. And if
he
you think
loves
about
the clubs just as much as us.
If you think about where he's come from, like, he was on the SNFL supplementary list. Like, he's worked very hard to get where he is now, you know. You can't fault him for effort.
I think the hate towards Lockie Murphy is just ingrained in the fact that people think, and to be honest, it's a vocal minority, mostly on Twitter and Instagram too, that think he's a plotter, despite the fact he's nothing of the sort. He's a fan of us. He loves the Crom stuff, and that's not why I'm defending him at all. He is another person, and for the fact that the club have to come out and shut down the socials for comments shows a genuine level of immaturity in our fan base to respond to what is essentially a good problem. He got selected against the Hawks. Would you rather have a couple of debutantes go down to that absolute shithole in Launceston and have a Ben Davis-esque debut, like what Ben had to get with Geelong at GMHBA, where he just didn't have a chance to thrive? Do you want that? Is that what us as fans want? Absolutely not. I would rather, and to be honest, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I would rather sacrifice a senior player to go down there rather than expose a rookie to a crap environment. Like, as bad as that sounds, like, I don't understand the anger towards it, and I think it's just absolutely shit-ass that our fans act like this. And they are our fans.
I think it's left over from the last few years where we haven't been trying the younger players, but it shouldn't be about Lockie Murphy. You know, it shouldn't be anger towards him. It can be frustration with the selection panel or whatever. But It's nothing against him.
No, again, be upset about selection all you want, but don't go after him personally. He is a person who is trying his best.
Yeah. And more importantly,
he also kind of is the perfect sub. Because no matter what time of the game he gets brought in or what situation he gets brought into, he's gonna have a crack. He's gonna compete for every ball. He's like McHenry.
McHenry, yeah, I was about to say. He's exactly like McHenry, where maybe he doesn't have the polish when he gets the ball, but he's going to pressure every time. And a great stat for this weekend, if he does play again, it'll be his 119th game.
Hey, there it is.
Against Melbourne. So hopefully he can have another good one if he gets picked, which I assume we've gone unchanged. We can preview
you would think
that
so.
In a bit.
Now, shall we get to some feedback from the listeners?
Yeah.
Feed us back.
All right, I'll feed you back, you beautiful people. Now, I'll head to Instagram stories very quickly. We've got Lee.Hussy1 who said, a knockout.
Always the one.
David __ train had 2 comments here. He said, if Max played for a VFL team, the media would be all over him like Dacos. And then he said, I like big butts.
Check.
It's so true about the VFL side of things. I mean, we could wax lyrical about that, but we won't. Ryden Granger says, Tom Lynch should be traded to Alaska. I don't think Alaska have a AFL franchise. I mean, basically it's Tasmania. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Just
cold.
More oil. Clissold _ mate says, Tom Lynch going to get more weeks than he got fantasy points. How many points did he get in the end?
And not many. He was on -15 at halftime.
Oh, he got a total of 3 and 9 super coach. Oh, well,
it's impressive to kick a goal, but outweigh the fantasy points by negative from all the frees you give away.
We've got friend of the pod and Patreon, Christy Bainish, who's written in saying, considering booking grand final weekend accommodation, sunglasses emoji.
Jeez.
That's putting the mockers on us.
Yeah. It's a little bit early.
Each their own, I say, but please don't. Chase Clarkey said 3 votes for Curto. Couldn't agree more. Rachel Parsons said, yes, bitches. That's 6 Zs.
Nice.
Sam Ataya has said, Tom Lynch legacy golf game 3 over par.
What?
That's one for Ray. Anthony Ashton said, we won, aha. Justin Chiggy Cummings has said, should have won by 100+, but that Curtin kid goes all right. Ubazilm signed Dan Curtin for another 15 years, and Dom DeRuvo, Curtin can have my babies. Bless.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Curtin can have my babies, so that means that Dom's wanting to sire.
You don't have to think about it that much.
Unfortunately, I have.
Next comment.
Now, do we have any other comments on here? They've got me that said we spanked him. And, I put up the thing, and I can't remember who in the chat put them up. I think it was Ethan, someone did, apologies, but put up the things about people defending Tom Lynch as well on Twitter too. And shout out to Mitch with the cuck chair as well in his hotel room and being able to put up all the things around that as well. Comments on Facebook. We've got a couple here. Only one really. A friend of the pod and Patreon, Brendan McGarrigan, says, kicking to the city end was a bit of a Bermuda triangle, but a dominant effort all around. You know things were quiet at Richmond's end when Max kicks 3. Very true. Very bloody true.
Oh, and how about did you see Brewmasters put how they played the 2017 Grand Final highlights pre-game? Oh. That is bold.
That was like reverse saging the oval for us, really.
Oh, yeah.
So
Got rid of the bad juju.
It's almost like a couple of them would have been just thinking back to their time with, I don't want to say the name, but let's just say it's a gathering of brains.
Oh, right. I follow you. Let's move on. All right. Now, we can put that in the rear vision mirror and we'll talk about the next game very soon. But we've got a whole bunch of news to get to. We've also got the SANFL team who beat Damon's North Adelaide by 84 points on Saturday.
Damon was
Macton.
Tech box was not working for their coaching box, that's for sure. So
they won 23 goals, 10, 148 to North Adelaide, 10 goals, 464, with Burgess kicking 7 goals, 1.
Burgers.
What a third quarter. 10 goals in the third.
Crazy. Ball ace and with 23 touches. We had Nankervis with 20 touches and 3 goals straight. And just goals everywhere. Draper with 18 touches. Had a solid game. Yeah, lots of pressure on selection, as we touched on. There's a lot of good players.
Strawn kicked 4 goals.
Yeah. He's back.
God.
He's back from the injury sooner than expected.
So we re-signed McAndrew.
Yeah.
Who was wearing a very nifty Garmin watch, by the way, right, in his photo. But
during the game.
No, not during. Yeah, not he wasn't pressured into it. It's like you're not getting pizza until you sign this contract. Yeah. Yeah, we signed McAndrew and Kieran Strawn's just like, injuries all better. Who knew? But yeah, it's good to see the SANFL team up and about, even if it's against.
Can't wait for finals to come where all the rules screw us out of anything ever happening.
I'm really enjoying just going onto any SANFL post on Facebook and just commenting a hybrid of keep the Crows out of the SANFL. I just keep commenting keep the SANFL out of the Crows. And I'm getting all these boomers commenting down, and it's just like, no, keep the Crows out of the SANFL. And I write back, I said, no, keep the SANFL.
Oh, God.
It's pointless comedy.
Speaking of SANFL, do you think we're going to see a perfect season from start? They're 11 wins, 0 losses.
When do we play him, boss?
Oh, I don't know.
This weekend, I think. Is it? Might be.
It's going to happen.
I don't know. They're looking pretty good. When they have the Eagles, it was like 95-2 at half time.
Yeah. That's dominant.
Bent them over and worked their little bum holes, didn't they?
That's
the balloon knot wasn't able to retire, was it?
Correct. No, we're not. They're playing North Adelaide this week, so.
Yeah, we're not playing until August 23rd.
Oh.
Last round. Which will be interesting.
So we'll move on to some more news as well. So, there's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I mean, look, Dan Curtin signed on. We've already touched on that as well.
Yep.
What else do we have here?
We've got Aaron Phillips being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Which was fantastic to see.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that one. And the first father-daughter gave her a Hall of Fame entry, and a fantastic speech she gave too. It was really great to see. So,
just so wholesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it was really poignant when she talked about the fact, about being told by her dad, you can't play anymore just because there's no other leagues to get into, and then being able to, be uplifted. I think she's a fantastic, I've heard some people say about the fact that, she's gone to Port now, or she's not really ours. I think she's a South Australian treasure. Generally.
Like Hagues.
Yeah, Hagues, Robin Menz, what else?
Fruit Chocks.
Yeah, Fruit Chocks, get around them. Tony and Marks, or Chanel.
Magic Mountain.
Yeah, Magic Mountain, the big dinosaur turd as you're flying.
She's the balls to the AFL football mall.
Shit. Yeah. No, quintessentially South Australian, like Farmers Union iced coffee, even though it's owned by a Japanese conglomerate. Like, ignore that. But yeah, no, she's fantastic. I'm really, really proud of her and glad that she was able to get that. To be honest, overdue, I reckon. Should have happened earlier. What can you do? Lockie Murphy as well, expecting his first child, as in his partner is, or his wife. They announced news a little while ago, which was good to see. Thebarton Oval is...
And as they said online, how can he be expecting it? She's the one doing all the work, and he's just expecting this. I'm just kidding. I love you, Lockie. We just want you to do well.
I mean, he is a forward, so he's used to just getting delivery. Good delivery to him. So, you know. Anyway.
Hashtag free Lockie.
We had an injury from the AFL women's list as well. So Georgia McKee is going to be missing the whole 2025 season after rupturing her ACL during a training session. But it has opened the way for a signee. That's right, Christina Liuzzi, who's signed on from Woodville West Torrens.
Yeah, so you're happy about this?
I'm very happy. We need another bullwog in there. So small defender and forward as well. But she was brilliant in the SANFL women's too. So I'm really happy that she's come on too. So great to see. And Phil Harper said that Liuzzi has really impressed with her form. So we wait and see. But hopefully she'll be able to make the list. As in make it onto the...
That dog's back.
Yeah, I know, Ray. I know.
Ah, that's right. We're not playing the Dogs for a couple of weeks.
Ugh.
Now,
like that one. Move it from Mars Stadium. Move that one to Mars Stadium.
I want to punt that dog. Don't you worry. God, we had a few nominations. Dawson obviously nominated again for the Mark of the Year as well. That was for that grab against Brisbane as well, and Rochelle got nominated for Goal of the Year too. And...
But yeah, it's been somewhat quiet in the news front, considering we had the bye week. It feels like it's been a long time.
I know.
Since footy. But should we go into predictions for this weekend?
Let's do it.
So Sunday afternoon, we've got the Demons at 2:45. Is it Sunday afternoon?
We get to play against Voldemort. Clayton Oliver. In bad news for Clayton, got his nose absolutely destroyed on the
I saw that.
weekend.
That was
And you know that's his favourite tool of choice. Turn him into Voldemort. Harry Potter? That's what he said. Matt Rowell.
You know what the best thing is for stopping a nosebleed? And it's something that's used in ENT surgery. Connect the dots. Anyway, now let's get on to the game before we get cancelled again. Adelaide versus Melbourne, Adelaide Oval at, is it 2:20 or 2:50? I'm not sure.
2:45.
2:45. Ah, right. Okay. Get ready for a sax solo around then.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Melbourne, sort of
They
having
lost.
a bit of a... Look, they had a bit of...
Gold Coast, they didn't play terribly. They just started slow.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really know how to read their form.
I mean, Melksham had 5, so we'll wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, they started off poorly and the club was in crisis and Goody had lost the players. Everyone was filthy. They were filthy and someone had to stand up and there was going to be heads rolling, but now they turned it around and everyone loves each other again.
Exactly.
Christian got him over and he made a nice chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
And all was right in the world again.
Yeah, exactly. And the best part was that the club actually took Gold Coast at the line, so everyone wins. So,
and then Clayton said, "Did you say steak?"
Did you say line?
Yeah. I was trying not to make a joke reference, but...
Oh, Jesus. Oh, all right. Now, let's go. Let's do some selections. Well, not really. Oh, actually, selections. Who's going to come in and out? Because
there's no injuries, so If I don't
Is Murray
mix
ready
him,
to go?
he's not going to change.
Yeah, he's played twice now in the
Yeah.
Sandful. Maybe him, but who do you drop?
You
They
can't
bought-
drop Butts from that performance, but the only other player is Keane unless the Demons have a really tall forward line. I don't think they do.
They've got a very small forward line, famously. Bailey Fritsch is their key forward.
Oh, the Timu version of Ben Keys. It's
The-
very ugly.
Lego head.
Ugh.
Um,
The polygon.
the Lego headed, and maybe they got, it wasn't Van Roy, and they had another one, but yeah, famously short forward line.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Like, it doesn't really hinder us giving Nick Murray another week in the Sandful. It's weird, though, because he was, like, obviously a dominant force earlier in the year. But if Butts keeps playing like this, do we make the change or do we actually pull out Keane?
Yeah. Do you reckon Burgess is happy about making the move down to Adelaide? He's just sitting there kicking 7 going,
Exactly.
what do I got to do? Am I any chance?
It's all right. He's come home. He's from Adelaide, so
He's a
he's
good
just
boy.
chilling.
He's just
Taking 7
relaxing.
goals. And, yeah, waiting for Tex to retire.
Old mate catchphrase. So,
Yeah.
oh God. All right. Well, we haven't decided anything, so fuck it. Let's just get into who wins and how much. Now, I'm going to throw to Ray. Who wins, how much, and I want you to guess who's going to, most behinds.
Okay. I think we win pretty comfortably in the end. I'm going to say 33 points.
Mm-hmm.
And most points is going to be... let's go with Rankin.
That's disappointing.
Most
I don't want to
behinds.
see that.
They'll be amazing points, though.
Oh, right.
Mercurial
of the year.
points. Lleyton.
I reckon we're going to win by a lot. I reckon I'm going to go Crows by 49 points. And
9.
I reckon Mike Lanny's going to do the opposite of what he did this week and do 0 from 3 and get the most behinds. But the rest of the team's going to be super accurate. So that's all right.
Nice. Nice.
What about you, Pete?
What'd you say, 43?
49.
49,
I said
sorry.
33.
I'm going to go... firstly, let's check the weather. We've got to check the...
Oh, yeah.
Because that's very important.
good. I got a tea time at 12:30.
60% chance of rain, 0 to 4 mils, max
Ah,
of 16. There you go. Perfect Sunday afternoon weather.
Yep.
The Ducks will be at home. So I'm going to say we're going to hump. Okay, I think it's going to be Crows by 69.
Oh,
Very
Hang
nice.
on.
One up from this week.
Dinner for 2 with a shit ass view.
That's it, mate. I know friends of the pod and Patreons, Scott Cowan and Simone McDonald, were very, very disappointed that they were able to get one back. So one away. One away. But I reckon it's going to be 69. And the most behinds, I don't know why I picked this stat pulled out of my ass, but I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go with Filthy.
okay.
And the only reason I say that is based off of absolutely nothing whatsoever.
You'll have the most chances, probably. So
Yeah.
most chance to kick more behind.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised Keys as well would be the other one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I did write on Instagram, just to sort of sum up things very quickly. I did ask on Instagram for people to just write in anything, just a few things. One of the things Sam Mateo has said, end of financial year, last minute budget spends for Crom. Do you reckon that Crows HQ have bought like concrete futures or anything so they don't have to, they can get in this financial year ahead of next? Not sure.
Nah.
No.
I reckon
Okay.
they're all about cash flow at the moment. What's coming in, what's going out.
Yeah. Now, Ray, you'd know a little bit about this. Ryden Granger has said WWE is coming to Perth and Rhea Ripley owns a Crom beanie from Crowject. That was our friend Josh Robinson who was able to get that one too with yourself, Ray. So that was
Yes.
good to see.
I was there.
I was there. You were there.
I was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are coming to Perth again. Yep.
You going to that one, boss?
Nah,
Nah.
I'm not. It's a 3-day thing this time with like 3 different shows, and I'm just not built for that type of money at the moment. I think I read the other day that tickets were starting at like $450 each for each show. So I'm like,
jeez,
and then the flights and accommodation to the other side of the world. So basically, not even Australia.
Man. And then Justin Cheeky Cummings has written in, if you had to pick 10 current or past Crows players to fight a gorilla, who would they be? Let's go.
Scott Thompson.
Scott Thompson definitely won.
Yeah.
Tex won.
Tex, yeah.
Ben Rutten.
Yep.
I reckon Sean Rand would be a good one.
Oh, pre or post ACLs?
Well, hopefully not while he's having an ACL injury.
As long as there's not a metal bounce plate in the middle where the gorilla and Sean Wren are fighting.
Then it'll be fine.
Matty Yench, just to really just get under their skin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like it.
Rashudo. Prime Rashudo.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Who else are we thinking? What about a big, strong, strapping lad like Mitch Grigg?
I like it. What about Lawrence Angwin?
Stiffy?
That's a good. He would be prison rules.
Yeah,
for obvious reason.
He would try and steal the DVDs.
If there's no footage, it doesn't matter. So he steals the cameras too. So we've got 7.
Did you get my Stiffy?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, John Cock.
Yeah. Rhett Biglands, maybe?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And, who else?
I mean, you got to say Phil Thorpe.
Oh, yeah. Phil Thorpe would just like monster a gorilla at the moment.
It would scare him off. He wouldn't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
So we've got 3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, so we've got Tomo, Tex, Rudden, Matty Yench, Rashudo, Mitch Grigg, Lawrence Angwin, Graham Joncott, Rhett Biglands, and Riley Tilthorpe.
Yes. That's a good array.
So we'll put this up on our socials too. So write into us who you think could fight off a gorilla. Now, would it be prison rules? Are you allowed any weapons?
It's got to be prison rules. It's anything goes. If you're fighting a gorilla, put a finger up its arsehole. I don't care. Just get it done.
Well, the trouble is, I don't know if you can explain the rules to the gorilla beforehand. So how can you make rules?
The gorilla's not going to know. It's going to smell blood in the water and it's going to go hard.
Whoa.
I want players that are going to scratch at canasters if they have to. Grab the gorilla by the,
All right, I think it's time for Segment Street. So head over to patreon.com/Crowject if you want to hear the rest of this one. And we are definitely going to introduce this one a little bit further. So thank you so much for tuning in. Head to crowject.bigcartel.com if you get yourself some Go Crom merch as well. And we've got the Phil Walsh special that's going to be dropping this Wednesday as well. So episode 1 of that will be coming very soon. Otherwise, Go Crom.
Go Crom.
Go Crom.